time where we can have failed interventions in Nigeria is over. Is over. There's no more wiggle room to take on interventions that have a great potential to fail. I hope that is clear. The central bank governor, I and my team are not responsible for the woes that we have today. We are part of the solution. We are determined to ensure that we work hard to get out of the mess that Nigeria is in. We assumed responsibility in a time of crisis of confidence. There was a crisis of confidence, and you may all want to go to bed and wish that that crisis of confidence was not there, but it was. And we can't turn back the clock. All we can do is do the difficult things to make a bad situation better. And I do believe that the efforts that we are making are beginning to bring back confidence. Because, to be frank, without confidence in our business, you are not going to get very far. No matter how much you believe you have in your store of dollars and cents, naira and kobo, no matter how much you think you have, if the confidence is not there, all that money will disappear in no time. So, we are working hard. We are putting out our policies. We're trying to avoid as much as possible not to go against the grain and the spirit of what we've said we would do. We are bearing the interests of all Nigerians, recognizing that we are in a position of trust and will not betray that trust. From the perspective of the central bank, again, we're not the federal government of Nigeria, but we see hard decisions have been taken and they are required to help us because the central bank can't do it on its own. It has to work very closely with the fiscal side. One without the other is like, that famous adage of clapping with one hand. It won't go anywhere. So the two have got to work very closely together. And we see a lot of the reforms that are being taken on the fiscal side, and are helping to create a better environment, for Nigeria. Having said all that, I think it's also important that Nigerians must also understand certain things that are basic so that, it's necessary to be able to see where the future is going. A tax to GDP ratio of 7.1, quite frankly, is one of the lowest in the whole world. It's one of the lowest. In fact, the recommendation for proper sustainable development is in the region of 30 upwards. Now, you can ask, how did we get to 7.1? Why is it 7.1 when it should be multiples of that? That is a discussion for an entirely different day, but that is what it is. So anybody having the expectations that it's all going to be turned around overnight from the fiscal side is not it's not going to happen. But what is likely to happen is that 7-to-1 will continue to grow in an upward trajectory that will be to the benefit of Nigerians, and then get to that level where there's comfort all round.